Okay, so everyone, this is a data feed checklist that I got from my mate Adrian on LinkedIn. It was actually from someone else. I need to credit them, and I apologize right now for whoever it is. But the reason why I wanted to share this is, data feed like Google Shopping. If you're running e-commerce, like 80 to 90% of your success will come from shopping ads. And the shopping ads, you don't bid on keywords, but you have influence over the feed health or viability to increase the probability of more clicks and more sales. So this is a data feed checklist. I saw it, I liked it, and I went to Corey, mate, let's go through this and just suss it out and just go, what do we like? What would we add? What we think's high? What's low value? Not high value, or like high impact, low impact, and we can go from there. So
Okay.
let's do it, Corey.
All right, I'm excited. Let's do it. All right, we will be very respectful of whoever did this. I promise.
Yeah.
We won't totally tear you down on this. We'll just add some things that we feel are relevant, or say maybe I wouldn't prioritize that.
Cool. So we'll start up with product titles, which I think is probably the most important part, in my opinion. We may
Yeah.
disagree here, by the way. This is not
Agreed.
scripted, guys. Keyword placement in product titles. Impact high, priority high. Would you agree?
Yep.
Definitely. Include brand name in titles.
Sometimes, not
Yeah.
always.
I don't. Most of my clients, I don't do that.
Yeah.
I suppose if it's a branded product like Nike or Adidas or Adidas in Australia, but for just like your local brand, I don't know if it really makes a difference.
Yeah, I think sometimes it's a play on ad rank, but we won't get into the weeds on that one. But yeah, I would say it's going to be very dependent on a lot of situations. I wouldn't say like 100%. Let's do it every time.
Okay.
But anyway,
Adhere to character limits in title.
well, it's a must. You have to do
Yeah.
it.
What is the character limit?
Well, 150?
That's a lot to put in the title. But I suppose like when you hover over it.
Goes fast. No.
Now, in terms of even just like product titles, I suppose it even can come down to like reviewing the syntax of how things are put in. Like some people go, you put your brand and size and this and that. Like, do you have any best practice in your mind around that?
I was going to say I'm thinking that's going to be, if it's not an addition, maybe that's just what he's saying with row 3 is keyword placement and product titles. It's not even just.
I think it's a she.
What's that? Oh, she. Okay, apologies to her. Yeah, keyword placement in product titles. That's probably what she's referring to. Is getting in if it's relevant, size, color, materials, whatever. That's so important because whatever you find is going to be in the most common search terms or search categories, whatever you want to call it now. Those need to be in there more than likely. Now, it's a fun game is to try to analyze and figure out which words outside of that obvious stuff should be in there. Like, what are people using that convert the most? What are the words they use? You're playing this game of, balancing search volume, and there being a lot of search volume with also the performance of those words, right? You don't just want to like put all the high search volume stuff if they don't convert well for your brand, because maybe there's a mismatch there. So you got to play that game trying to figure out a balance, and you'll test it over time.
Yeah, I like to do some direct response aspects to my ads, like putting phrases or words at the start to capture attention. So then, even if it's not to the left as much, people will notice it based on how I set it up. Images. Now, this is an area, Corey, that I know you're quite. You've given me some tips on it. You use high resolution product images. I think that's yes. Include multiple angles in the product images.
Yeah, I like the medium. Definitely not a high priority, but yeah.
Use clean backgrounds in images.
Yes, please. You might just get disapproved if it doesn't.
Yeah.
So.
What was that thing you were mentioning to me a few weeks ago that if you change the color of the background, it can help you stand out a bit more?
Yeah, look, I mean, if everybody's being told to do it one way and you do it a different way, and this is advertising, guess who's going to stand out and get the eyeballs first? You probably will. Now, I'm not saying do something crazy like a bright red background. You might get disapproved, surprisingly, for something like that. But if everyone else is doing a white background and you do a light blue, and that's relevant to the industry, you might find better performance.
A light baby blue.
Light baby
Excellent.
blue, yeah.
Cool. Descriptions. Provide detailed product descriptions. High.
I mean, as a part of the grouping of saying our description's important, that would be a vital part of it. Would I spend countless hours on every single product, making sure the description is as well optimized as possible? Maybe not. It depends on the brand and how much time you have to manage the account and stuff. I think some people go too crazy with this, and it doesn't really seem to incrementally deliver more results. The title is more important. Would you agree?
Title is more important. With clients, when we get to the descriptions, I export the products into a Google Sheet and then have this dynamic feed, like this
Right.
dynamic rule, which literally gets the product title and then goes title and then pulls in the sizes and then it kind of keyword stuffs it a bit. So all of them
Yeah.
are the same, but it's all dynamic as well. So I know it's got the
Yeah.
size, keywords, ethic, like what type of words there would need to be in it.
Hmm.
I think it is important, but if don't do it manually, try to find an automated way that can do it either with
Yeah.
feed rules or with a Google Sheet offline and then push it back in.
Yep. Or AI or something. If you use a open AI token or something like that. Yep.
Include technical specifications in the description.
Yeah.
People, this is what I don't get. Like, people are even people seeing these descriptions?
Well,
Like,
that's the thing, right? I mean, it's not like when you're hovering over it, you're getting all this information. It feels
yeah,
like it's more about it's for the shopping section of.
it's like, yeah. If it is in the shopping center, I try to use this more as like a bit of like a like in SEO. This would be called like the meta title, and this would be
Exactly.
called the meta description. So the title for SEO would be that's actually quite profound, Michael Nadlin. Good on you, mate. Uh, is yeah, just treat it like this is the meta title of an SEO page and this is meta description, and people know that the meta title will be more powerful or keyword rich than the description.
Yep. Completely agree.
Use structured format for descriptions. That was
I guess that's the dynamic element, and that's what they're referring to. I
okay.
don't know.
Cool. Custom labels, cool. Segment products by profitability with custom labels.
If profits are relevant for you, a lot of businesses
Yeah,
not. A lot of businesses like, yep, 30% margins. We don't need that. So I'm like, great, we can use custom label for something else.
yeah.
So
Create seasonal custom labels.
again, relevant sometimes, not always, but can be profoundly impactful if we can get that in our analysis, that we know that there's certain seasonal effects happening inside
Yeah,
of certain products, product categories. Good luck with about 99% of Google Ads managers knowing how to do that properly, though.
yeah.
Hire me.
Label products based on stock levels.
Again, can be, but it's also improperly done so often or done manually that it's not going to be a viable option for a lot. But it also can be, it can be helpful. But one of the things I run into the most when trying to, this is sort of like an over optimization in some cases, or it's a perfect optimization, is if it takes a long time to get new inventory, this can be kind of a disaster where you're always like you're just creating more work for yourself, and it's not,
Yeah.
you're not able to really optimize around this. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is kind of like if it people like if it, you had that client that's like, look, we've got low stock levels of this, so stop running ads on it. It's like, okay, cool, but like 99% of the time that will never happen. I'm looking at these custom labels. I'm like, profitability. I do not bid on profitability. I would do it like with custom labels. I do it on product ranges, like if they're tops versus pants versus shoes versus that, because it's like the different types of products. So it's better to have those segmented out. What are some of the other things? In terms of label products based on stock levels, I've just got automatic rules that literally say out of stock. Like a custom label is created for out of stock when it's labeled out of stock, just with like a
Yeah.
feed rule. Not that that does anything, but it just keeps me posted on how many products are out of stock.
Yeah.
Custom labels are really interesting. A few years ago, I got really into it based on like when I first got into it, I did different custom labels if it was between 0 to 50, 50 to $100, 100 to 200, and then would bid more manually, bid higher cost per clicks for higher products. But now it's just like I do custom labels on every single client and multiple custom labels, but I see it done really poorly a lot of the time. Or when people do it, I'm like, I get why you think that looks good, but you're not using that to even filter down campaigns based on that or to even do any analysis.
Hmm.
So I feel like some people just do it for the sake of doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, I've run into that myself. Yeah, like they haven't even updated them in 2 years or something, like because they found some script for it, and it's like, yeah, we haven't updated those in a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to add real quick on the custom labels. Those ones are pretty popular. I'm going to just add to them some other ones that I think are more common that may or may not be useful to you, depending on your business, your products or services, your customer base, and whatever buying behavior is that you've identified. Right? There's no one size fits all for this. This is where the creativity comes in. Why you hire
Yeah.
someone that knows what they're doing, so they can work with you and your deeper knowledge of the business to figure out what custom labels work best in the analysis. levels when you're actually doing the analysis, and you figure out what actually is going to make sense to layer into those analyses. But promotions and sales, things we haven't talked about already, promotions and sales, customer segments like commercial versus residential. Sometimes that's a valuable asset to have in there. The life cycle stage of a product. So how long has it been in your inventory? In some cases that's relevant. Geographic relevance, features, benefits, meh. Sometimes it's not as common. The age of the product in terms of how long it's been on the market, popularity, if you have tracking around that you can trust in, and then the product complexity is a complex product, a simple product. Again, you're going to use these for analysis and maybe potential restructure ideas as well. So anyway, let's go ahead and move forward.
Use Google Sheets. Don't use the feed rules for this stuff because you can export all your back-end data like from the Shopify site and then download your feed and then use VLOOKUPs based on formulas you create. That's what we mostly do, is just like, it is simple, but it's extremely hard. But when you do it, it's extremely valuable. Now, Corey, like I've said, I've got to go soon. So let's just quickly smash through these high. Let's just go through the high ones rather than everything else. Conduct regular feed audits.
Of course.
Automate feed updates.
Well, we've mentioned that several. Yes, absolutely.
Beautiful. Monitor and fix errors.
Nah, leave them. Leave them. Kidding.
Exclude low ROAS products.
No. Put them somewhere else. See if they work better in their own campaign or via a different type of campaign type. Yeah. Don't just get rid of products because you eventually might be down to just selling 3 of your 100 products, and that's not always a good place to be. So no.
You got to remember, low ROAS products is what people click on is not necessarily what they buy.
Yes,
so that's why this can be really misleading, because you might have a product that has a low ROAS because it's getting a lot of traffic through the door, but then you're getting all these other products bought. Maybe a product that's higher or lower. Really misleading. It's really misleading, that whole Google, like, oh, we spent this much on this product and got this many sales. No.
Yeah, no. Especially the next one with the low click-through rates. Absolutely not. I mean, you could have your best performing products be low click-through rate. That doesn't. I'm here for conversions, not click-through rates. So low that's okay.
Like, this may negatively impact if it shows more in the future, but you're paying per click, not per impression. This is Facebook. Exclude out of stock products.
Not always. Most of my clients keep them going because we want to keep the awareness going. We don't want to pull it out, right? We offer the ability for the customer to a back order, right? So we have back orders, so they can place the order, but they know up front that the shipping is going to be a while. I would rather most clients keep it going.
Right now, I thought out of stock products don't run on the feed.
No, you can still keep them going as long as Google sees on the site that you can still offer them. Like if someone can still check out and buy the product, but the shipping is going to be a while, technically it's still kind of in stock. You just got to be careful about that.
But if in the feed it says out of stock, will it run?
Well, if it's out of stock in that way, no. If it's technically out of stock, but that's where I'm saying you got to kind of be creative in how you go about it.
Me, Corey Lindholm.
I'm trying to walk the line here.
And then I think this feed segmentation, probably similar to custom labels, segment feed by product type. Price range, I was mentioning they used to do that years ago. Don't do it anymore, guys. Don't do it anymore. Don't think it's relevant.
Yeah.
And segment feed by geographic location. Now, I don't do this, but I reckon Corey, you're going to be, yeah, man.
Well, you have to sometimes, just for, whatever. But usually going to have a different feed for each country in some cases just to have the control there. But yeah, I don't think it's a bad checklist. I think that we've hopefully added some extra value on there. Michael's got to run, so we apologize for having to speed through it. If you guys want more, let us know. We can always revisit it and tear it apart some more. No, I'm kidding. They did a good job there.
Awesome. Well, Corey, mate, this is awesome. How do people find you?
Yeah, adsbycorey.com. This one we're gonna do the real thing today. All right, adsbycorey.com. And you can also find me on LinkedIn as well as Twitter every once in a while at Paid Search Coach. And then also I am on YouTube and Spotify, both for myself and the podcast PPC Unfiltered. And thank you guys for watching. Michael, where can people find you, sir?
Not at Ads by Corey, but marketlead.com.au, Market Lead on YouTube, and Michael Nadalin on LinkedIn as well, and the PPC Unfiltered podcast.
Beautiful.
Guys,
all right.
Thanks for watching this today. It's a very different format that we've done, but hopefully you guys have learned a lot of things that you didn't know beforehand.
Awesome. Thank you, Michael.
Bye.
See ya.